You stand at the crossroads of every decision you've ever made. Look around. The life you see before you is not an accident, it is a perfect reflection of your philosophy, your daily disciplines, and yes, your neglected responsibilities. And while the cost of discipline may feel like pennies, small efforts, quiet sacrifices, those inconvenient moments when you choose virtue over comfort, know this: the price of regret will demand everything you have. It will bankrupt your soul long before it empties your pockets. Regret doesn't show up like a sudden storm. No, it moves like a shadow at dusk, slow, creeping, subtle. And by the time you finally turn to face it, it has already stolen years. But discipline is the light you carry into that darkness. It is the steady flame that holds back the night, one wise choice at a time. Every day, life presents you with two simple offers. One whispers, "Take it easy. There's always tomorrow." The other, more subtle but infinitely more powerful, says, "Plan today, so you don't starve in the winter of your life." You must choose. And let me warn you, indecision is a choice all its own, and it always favors regret. Consider the farmer. He knows that every season carries its own demand. In the spring, he must plant. No negotiation. No excuses. Because when the harvest comes, it will not ask him what his intentions were. The field will bear only what he sowed, nothing more, nothing less. That is the immutable law of life: what you plant today becomes the fruit you harvest tomorrow. Yet too many stand before barren fields wondering why nothing grows, blind to the seasons they've wasted, the seeds they never planted. And they pay. Not with dollars, but with something far more valuable, the haunting question that echoes in every silent hour: what could I have become if only I had tried? Understand this clearly: the cost of a disciplined life is embarrassingly cheap. Waking up 1 hour earlier costs you nothing but a little comfort. Reading 10 pages of a good book each night costs you less than an hour of television. Investing a fraction of each paycheck into your future costs you far less than the bitter taste of dependency later on. And yet, how often do we trade these pennies for the crushing debt of regret? You see, regret comes with interest. Ignore it today, and it grows. Delay action this month, and the weight of missed opportunity compounds. Until one day, you wake up, look in the mirror, and realize that the person staring back at you is a stranger to the dreams you once held. But it does not have to be this way. There is a simple magic in small disciplines. They seem insignificant in the moment, too small to matter, too easy to neglect. But discipline is not measured by the size of the act, it's measured by the consistency of your commitment. Like drops of water carving stone, small, repeated efforts shape the landscape of your future. Every time you choose to discipline your thoughts, your words, your actions, you cast a vote for the person you are becoming. And these votes, though silent and unseen, will one day speak volumes when your results arrive. Because they always arrive. Life never forgets to deliver the harvest. Now let me tell you something most people will never say aloud: success is not hard. It's simply inconvenient. And because it's inconvenient, most people choose the path of least resistance. But make no mistake, that path is lined with hidden tolls. You may avoid the discomfort of discipline today, but the bill will arrive later, written in the currency of lost health, broken relationships, wasted potential, and a life half-lived. The question is not whether you will pay a price. You will. The question is which price you're willing to pay. The pennies of discipline or the lifelong debt of regret. You must learn to become your own accountant in this life. Track where your time goes, how your energy is spent, and whether you're making investments in your future or borrowing from it. Are you purchasing cheap pleasures with the credit card of your destiny? Or are you paying up front, in effort and discipline, for the life you truly desire? Time, my friend, is the most unforgiving currency. You can't earn more of it. You can't store it. And you certainly can't borrow it. Every second that passes is a dollar spent. And what you buy with it is entirely up to you. Do you want a life of vitality? Pay the price in sweat and disciplined eating. Do you want financial freedom? Pay the price in saving, in learning, in disciplined investments. Do you want relationships that fulfill you? Pay the price in attention, kindness, patience, and truth. This is the grand accounting of life. And it is perfectly fair. Life owes you nothing but offers you everything in return for disciplined effort. You see, the man who plants well and early sleeps peacefully through the storms of winter. Why? Because he knows he paid the price when the sun was shining. He does not tremble at the cold because he stored his harvest. He does not fear the darkness because he lit his lamp long ago. But those who refuse to plant, who lived every sunny day for their own comfort, when the winter comes, they have nothing. And worse, they know it is their own doing. This is the sharpest edge of regret. It's not just the absence of success, it's the presence of knowing it could have been different. That is the price regret demands, the weight of what might have been. And so I ask you, right now, as you stand in the warmth of today's opportunities, what are you planting? What habits are you watering? Are you building the life you promised yourself in the quiet moments when no one else was listening? Or have you forgotten that promise beneath the easy weight of another wasted afternoon? Because while the pennies of discipline might feel heavy in your pocket today, they are far easier to carry than the chains of regret tomorrow. And make no mistake, regret is a brutal creditor. It will find you in the stillness of the night. It will visit you when the crowds have gone, when the applause fades, when the years behind you outnumber the years ahead. And it will ask, quietly but relentlessly, why did you not become more? Why did you settle? If that thought makes you uneasy, good. Let it. Because that discomfort is the beginning of wisdom. It's the early warning bell that you're spending your days too casually, that your life's ledger isn't balanced, and that it's time to pay the pennies before the debt becomes unmanageable. So let this be the moment where the ledger of your life begins to change. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel more motivated. Now. Because the most dangerous phrase ever spoken is, I'll start later. Later is a myth. Later is the great deceiver. Later becomes never before you even realize it. Discipline doesn't need a grand beginning. It needs a quiet, stubborn decision. A decision that today, you will choose one small action aligned with who you want to become. Not a perfect action, just a deliberate one. Success isn't built in a day, it's built in the quiet repetition of small efforts, stacked relentlessly over time. If you want to become healthy, the first step isn't a 10-mile run, it's refusing to skip today's workout. If you want to become financially free, the first step isn't earning six figures, it's choosing to save even a few dollars instead of spending them on fleeting pleasures. If you want to build meaningful relationships, the first step isn't a grand gesture, it's putting your phone down and looking someone you love in the eye when they speak. These are the pennies of discipline. So small, so easily dismissed. And yet, like grains of sand, they accumulate. Over weeks, over months, over years, they become the foundation of an unshakable life. And what happens when you refuse these small disciplines? You drift. Not quickly. Not in a way that alarms you immediately. But subtly, like a boat with a broken rudder, just 1 degree off course. And 1 degree today becomes a lifetime of regret tomorrow. Let me tell you, life is not a rehearsal. This isn't a warm-up round. The days you are living now are the very substance of your existence. Every sunrise is a silent question, what will you do with me? And every sunset is a quiet reminder that you don't get that day back. The sad truth is, most people won't answer that question. They drift through their lives like spectators in their own story. They chase comfort, avoid challenge, and tell themselves that someday they'll get serious. But someday never comes for those who wait. Someday belongs to those who act today. You must decide what you want your life to mean. Because make no mistake, if you do not author your own story, life will write it for you. And it won't be a masterpiece. It will be a random collection of half-finished ideas, abandoned dreams, and the echoing emptiness of wasted time. But here's the beautiful truth, you are only one disciplined decision away from a new trajectory. One. And then another. And then another. That's how you turn the ship. Not with a dramatic, cinematic leap, but with small, almost imperceptible shifts that, over time, change everything. Ask yourself, what is one thing, just one, that I can do today that my future self will thank me for? And then, do it. Don't wait until you feel like it. Don't negotiate with your lesser self. Do it because it's right. Because it's necessary. Because the price is small today, but it will be astronomical tomorrow. And understand this, the people you admire, the disciplined, the accomplished, the fulfilled, they didn't find some hidden path. They paid the same pennies you're being asked to pay. They just paid them earlier, more often, and without complaint. While others were sleeping, they were working. While others were scrolling endlessly through distractions, they were studying. While others delayed, they acted. And now, they reaped the harvest. While the rest are left wondering why life feels so barren. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about paying the price. Over and over and over again, until the weight of discipline becomes lighter than the crushing burden of regret. Because it will. The longer you practice discipline, the more natural it feels. Until one day, what once felt like sacrifice feels like freedom. And what once felt impossible feels inevitable. That's when you've crossed the threshold. That's when you wake up each day with a quiet confidence, knowing you're living in the results of your disciplined choices. And the beauty of it all is this: it's never too late to begin. Not at 30. Not at 50. Not even at 80. As long as you draw breath, you have the power to plant new seeds. Will the harvest come overnight? No. But it will come. The law of sowing and reaping is as old as time and as reliable as the sunrise. Sow with discipline, reap with joy. Sow in laziness, reap in sorrow. That is life's contract. And it is non-negotiable. So what will it be? Will you continue paying the hidden tax of regret, quietly accumulating in the background of every easy decision? Or will you start investing right now in the disciplined actions that will make your future self stand tall and proud? Remember, the price of discipline is measured in moments. The price of regret is measured in years. Pay now, or pay forever. And in this final moment, I ask you to stand still for just a breath and imagine yourself at the end of your days. Sitting quietly, reflecting. Will you be smiling, knowing you lived fully, gave everything you had, became everything you were capable of? Or will you sit in the heavy silence of opportunities missed, doors unopened, and roads never traveled? That version of you is built today. In this hour. In this very decision you are about to make. So take a deep breath. Straighten your shoulders. And walk back into your life, not as a victim of circumstance, but as a master of discipline. Know that the world is not withholding anything from you. Every reward is waiting patiently behind the doors of effort, sacrifice, and daily commitment. Unlock them. Step through. And never again let the pennies of discipline feel too heavy, knowing the true weight is carried by those who choose regret. The price is small. The reward is great. The choice is yours. Now make it.